David Attenborough has recently shared a deeply moving admission that's left admirers reeling. Over many years, he served as the reliable narrator leading audiences through the planet's most remarkable wildlife tales. Yet today, approaching his centennial, revelations about his well-being, difficulties, and what he's now openly revealing indicate closure could arrive sooner than anticipated. And at the heart of everything lies a final plea that's far more pressing and poignant than most imagined. Childhood and ascent to stardom. David Attenborough stands recognized globally as nature's spokesperson. A serene figure directing spectators beneath sea surfaces, over icy plains, and amid the concealed existences of animals few ever encounter. Still, beyond that well-known tone lies an individual whose path was molded by enduring obstacles that escaped public notice. And now, edging toward a century, fresh developments around him bear a gravity that's profoundly sorrowful. David arrived on May 8, 1926, in Isleworth, London, the middle of three boys in a household steeped in learning. His dad, Frederick Attenborough, acted as head of University College in Leicester, fostering an environment brimming with literature, concepts, and perpetual wonder toward existence. David matured amid teachings on empathy. Indeed, amid World War II, the Attenborough household sheltered displaced youngsters fleeing Europe's escalating turmoil. Such formative encounters laid the groundwork for David's perspective, instilling duty, insight into worldwide suffering, and recognition that existence surpasses individual ease. These moments motivated David towards scholarly pursuits tied to his passion for ecology. Thus, he pursued natural sciences, focusing on geology and zoology at Clare College, Cambridge, earning his degree in 1947. That education instilled a rigorous methodology that would later characterize his narrative style. Attenborough viewed nature not as ethereal or remote. He perceived it as a realm ruled by order, reason, and intricately linked networks. His scholarly roots formed the core of each film he voiced. Prior to broadcasting, Attenborough labored shortly at a scholarly press. In 1952, he entered the BBC, launching one of television's most pivotal paths. Initially, he aimed for off-camera roles, crafting and directing shows without starring in them. Yet the BBC soon spotted his vast expertise, poise, precision, and intellect across tasks. His initial big success hit in 1954 via Zoo Quest, a series blending journeys, wildlife studies, and fresh exploratory vibes unseen on screens before. Attenborough's tranquil demeanor alongside the format's novelty gripped watchers. Audiences shifted from merely perusing distant beasts to observing them in habitats, led by one who unpacked biology as instinctively as inhaling. Zoo Quest reshaped Attenborough's path and ushered wildlife TV's fresh chapter. Yet Attenborough's reach stretched well past hosting. In 1965, he took charge of BBC Two, positioning him amid the channel's most inventive phase. He greenlit daring, offbeat content that redefined UK TV, such as Monty Python's Flying Circus, The Cultural Show Arena, and varied scholarly and artistic films. His guidance stressed innovation and extended BBC's influence enduringly post-departure. Though thriving as a leader, Attenborough chose resuming on-air duties, his core passion. In 1979, Life on Earth debuted, a pivotal wildlife saga seen by over 500 million globally. It established fresh benchmarks in animal cinema, merging research, narrative, and worldwide quests on unprecedented TV scales. The effort altered not only Attenborough's existence but the whole arena of ecology airing. Subsequent works emerged, each pushing wildlife films' frontiers further. Attenborough didn't just record nature. He unveiled it gradually with precision and reverence that molded viewer cohorts. Across years, his efforts garnered numerous BAFTAs, Emmys, and a distinguished knighthood in 1985. His timbre turned universally identifiable for its lucidity and authenticity. But amid triumphs, honors, esteem, and that steady serenity, lay hardships that forged the figure fans adored. Burdens he bore silently distant from cameras, building gradually through years chronicling earthly splendor and ruin. Hardships amid renown. Though David Attenborough seems nearly invincible publicly, his storied path's reality proves far more layered. The eras of ventures, distances covered, and rigors faced have etched tangible effects on his form and psyche. For over 70 years, Attenborough ventured to Earth's severest locales. He captured amid deluges, scorching temps, polar gales, and thick woodlands demanding vigilance per stride. These settings defined his films, yet imposed unyielding stress on his frame. By the 2010s onset, prolonged ascents, squats, and rough ground treks overtook him. In 2015, knee surgery followed, a substantial procedure demanding extended healing and cautious therapy phases. The intervention highlighted the bodily price of lifelong pursuit of untamed narratives, frequently overlooking its toll. Yet bodily boundaries formed just one load. With advancing years, Attenborough grew more conscious of another pressing issue: potential mental erosion. In talks, he's confessed his deepest private dread involved forfeiting sharpness, autonomy, and capacity to convey ecology as ever before. His unease targeted not senescence per se, but incapacity for labors defining his essence lifelong. Still, maybe his path's most intense episode struck early, while prior to his iconic status. It occurred in 1957 filming near the Great Barrier Reef. Attenborough and crew tested an initial model of Jacques Cousteau's open-circuit dive mask, gear yet experimental. A fault arose. Suit's air supply failed, stranding him breathless. He recounted it sharply later: "When I donned mine initially, water surged past my chin toward my lips. I sensed, this feels off. By nose level, I knew, this is wrong. Yet with it fastened atop, breath halts. Voice escapes too. The glitch risked death. Mere instance for response." He surfaced promptly, but the brush lingered lifelong. It marked a scarce instant when film's perils turned starkly tangible. A cue that portraying ecology demanded beyond intrigue. It called for true peril. Attenborough revisited this during a 2025 dialogue with Prince William, touting a key sea film. After almost 7 decades, the recall bore the gravity of potential tragedy. It underscored that beneath composed voiceovers and paced phrasing hid ordeals molding him beyond viewer grasp. These trials never halted his pursuits, but they sculpted the figure beyond myth. Endless journeys meant prolonged absences from family. Harsh settings imprinted his physique, and dread of fading acuity burdened him beyond visible eyes. And while society views a man etched by feats, another facet molded him equally profoundly. One of intimate bereavement, sorrow, and the sentimental price of a nomadic existence. Devastating departure of spouse. David Attenborough's bond with Jane Elizabeth Ebsworth Oriel formed a union spanning almost 50 adult years. Though their tie stayed largely private, free from flash or fame's cadence, it rooted firmly in constancy, mutual principles, and profound regard surviving eras of flux. They wed in 1950 at St. John's Church on Kew Green, a simple rite presaging a liaison untouched by glare. Jane hailed from Merthyr Tydfil, Wales, and unlike partners of notables, she opted for seclusion away from lenses or notice. Her realm stayed subdued, centered on hearth, offspring, and steadfast backing. Attenborough's vocation demanded extended sojourns abroad, yet their tie weathered separations with fortitude rare in pairings. Jointly, they nurtured 2 kids. Son Robert advanced to instructor in biological anthropology, upholding kin's scholarly ties, while daughter Susan entered teaching, rising to principal, influencing pupils with the poised restraint her folks exemplified. Despite paternal stardom, both offspring matured mostly insulated from fame, anchored by Jane's domestic normalcy. For 47-plus years, their wedlock anchored Attenborough's grueling profession. Jane oversaw home amid his drawn-out shoots. Jane steadied kids via ceaseless moves, doubts, and midnight wires from remote spots. And Jane supplied the sentimental base enabling his ventures, homecomings, renewals, and restarts. But 1997 shattered all. Jane endured abrupt cerebral bleeding, a crisis hitting SANS alert, affording no readiness. Attenborough hastened back from shoots. Yet finality struck, unyielding to his seasoned calm. Her passing severed nearly 50 shared years in a jarring discord to their constructed life. Attenborough later voiced its sting plainly: her loss stranded him adrift, for one famed for lucidity, guidance, steady timbre. Bereavement unraveled his inner core. Its juncture layered extra strain. Offspring were grown, with vocations and duties. Yet mourning ignores self-sufficiency. It reworked kin, vacating her perpetual spot. Vocationally, it hit amid fervent output. Attenborough juggled active films, broadcaster pledges, shoot itineraries needing travel. Still, amid sorrow's veil, he resumed labors, not from ease, but grasping life's cadence. Ecology always offered solace, restoring viewpoint amid turmoil. Persisting erased no ache, but granted framework when rest wavered. Merging mourning with profession marked his subtlest battle. Decades saw Jane his fixed return after quests. Sans her, journeying, shooting, voicing gained altered sentiment. Each exit led to altered hearth. Each milestone lacked their secluded revelry. Attenborough shuns airing woes publicly, but intimates observed Jane's void profoundly altered his rootedness. Yet amid anguish, he upheld her by sustaining labors with the uprightness and zeal she backed lifelong. Post-loss years saw his films subtly evolve. Urgency sharpened, alerts grew keener, emphasis veered from display to safeguarding. Observers sensed loss intensified his planetary bond, lending timbre fresh sentimental depth. And entering this phase, he sharpened public pleas, backed drives, sparked worldwide shifts. Civic pleas and drives. David Attenborough's sway never confined to screens. As films hit worldwide crowds, he emerged key in planetary fate talks. Years saw him bear duty of rendering intricate eco-research into graspable speech for everyday watchers. A chore he tackled with initial clarity and esteem marking his tales. His pleas heightened as globe faced biodiversity erosion and warming truths. Attenborough grasped lenses caught allure, yet also vanishing thawing poles, dwindling woods, crumbling webs. Thus, entertainment warning gap shrank. He repurposed wildlife origins into worldwide eco-calls. In 2021, named UN Climate Summit's folk champion, role spurring global teamwork and crowd engagement. It nodded not solely his clout, but trust accrued lifelong. Attenborough's charge seemed straightforward, yet vast, rally globe to respond. His aura humanized the summit, cueing chiefs climate wasn't vague policy, but escalating peril hitting groups, beasts, heirs. That year, he told UN Security Council bluntly, climate flux nears modern era's top safety trial. Phrasing stayed even, impact clear. Attenborough spoke not as lawmaker or thinker. He voiced as observer of earthly pulses altering over 7 decades firsthand. This stretch kept personal sphere probed. As planetary icon, he bore role as ecology's timbre amid senescence, wellness frets, hidden sorrow. Crowds sought steadiness, expecting sage poise. Yet sustaining that via frailty marked later years' hushed trials. Despite loads, Attenborough pressed for sustainable power, curbed use, bioshields. His timbre links labs to masses, granting clear probes sans diluting crises. In 2024, please hit local saves, backing Wildlife Trust's Rothiamercus Estate Drive, bold bid raising £30 million for 9,500 plus Northland acres. It echoed his enduring tenet, saves demand global local via packs and community calls. Cinema stays his prime weapon. Attenborough deploys films to simplify ecofacts for masses bypassing reports or summits. Via visuals, he exposed undercurrents reef fading, kind slumps, fluxed climes, lost homes. Efforts didn't list data. They tied to truth, prodding recognition of inertness costs. Yet even revered as Attenborough, escaped rebukes. Pleas, though lauded, sparked resistance from factions doubting stances, querying tones, twisting aims. Disputes and uproars. As David Attenborough's clout swelled, so did probes on his output. Most rows weren't classic outrages, but clashes over duty, fidelity, tale science poise. For one whose heritage hinges on faith, small phrase magnified, notably in charged eco-times. A prime row stemmed from BBC neutrality handling. Wild Owl's launch saw claims in human harm episodes skip TV to dodge policy spats. BBC insisted on line-only intent, but charge flew fast. Some faulted omission as minimizing eco-harm gravity. Others deemed BBC hewing to bias-free codes. Clash revealed institutional science talk hurdles sans politics. Attenborough drew denialist fire too. They disputed beast drop accounts, notably Arctic walruses. Factions alleged climate overplay, despite backings. Sadly, tales viralized on feeds, muddling unschooled from fact fiction. Attenborough seldom countered. He stuck to proofs. But episode lit how sound eco turns debate fodder today. It persisted. Post-population talk, or human swell strain globe, more flack hit. His eco-trend basis drew ire for slighting resource gaps or factory taint. Some concurred, urging frank tackle. Queries hit wildlife ethics too. Critics flagged controlled shoots when wild grabs near futile. Industry norm, with disclosures, yet confusions linger, leaving some doubting natural scenes. Attenborough aims true conduct portrayal, wild or staged to echo wilds. Another fret, big productions emission trails. Shoots globetrot teams, hiking outputs clashing eco words. Doubters probe travel needs. Replies include offsets, flight cuts, green gear. Still, naughty, global climate shots demand sights, unavoidable. Attenborough sidesteps direct retorts. He bids evidence lead. Focus stays clarifying eco sans fights. But trusted ecology role brings strain. And late 90s entry amplified wellness frets, wellness woes. As David Attenborough hit late 80s to 90s, lifelong labors were surfaced inescapably. Eras pushed frame through rigors, cliff scales, dune treks, sea plunges, land crossings. Yet time overtook, markers emerging gradual but sure. Key juncture, 2013 at 87, pacemaker implant steadied heart pace. Gear curbed erratic rhythms, cut abrupt risks. Grave health stride cued all, Attenborough included, he'd outgrown boundless roamer. Yet post-op and mend, he swiftly resumed, underscoring mission's worth. But 90s deepened another hurdle. Attenborough voiced memory slips openly, causing name or detail blanks on shoots. Aging norm. But for precision unpacking pro, tougher. He fretted lapse hits on voice quality, story-leading fidelity. Minor though, unease clung. Sadly, years grazed timbre too. Worldwide fame's asset. Gentle, paced delivery defining eras softened gradually. Breath shifted. Phrasing lagged, once smooth sharpness now labored. Crews tweaked timelines for rests, prior half-day voices spanned days. But Attenborough met shifts evenly, grasping age's varied molds. Amid woes, he toiled late 90s, new series shoots, voice logs, eco drives. Each outdid prior effort. Yet he spurned retreat. Drive wasn't drive or pride. It was aim. Lifelong he eyed nature's swift shifts. Duty called clear conveyance. But yearly, will-body chasm widened. Journeys strained. Shoot marathons taxed endurance. Basics needed extra zeal. Frame lagged as zeal held keen. This life's stretch grew poignant via public hopes. Attenborough transcended filmmaker. Global eco-truth emblem. Crowds sought his steerage, clout. Yet off-lens, aging man navigated mortal frets. Memory fade dread, breath strain, cardiac truths. Private paths didn't lessen zeal, but layered quiet sentiment to late output. Fans caught narrations added musing, tenderness, occasional quiver from one sensing life's close. And 90s persistence sparked rarer candor on long-shunned theme, own finitude in sorrowful musings from timed limits. Sorrowful musings on end. By 98 to 99, David Attenborough voiced aging more freely than prior. Lifelong quests, shoots, grind schedules yielded to last life's arc admission. Promoting Ocean in 2025, he owned nearing closure. Revelation stunned, given self-spotlight rarity. Eras kept beam on wilds, not self. But near century, he bared aging's field glimpses. Solitude ranked toughest. Post-1997 spousal loss, non-stop toils. Yet elder quiet home spells sharpened. Kids lead autonomous paths. Though bonded, their kin and tasks distance visits, isolating post-quests. Still, age never curbed pullback. Late 90s shoots persisted, ecobacks held, forward thrust. Future talks centered youth, planetary heirs. Attenborough urged seas, beasts, contracting homes with fresh press. 7 decades close damage witness new successors' turns. Plea plain, globe guard peaked now. Interview, boyhood sea seemed boundless wild for human harness. Now, life's close nears, truth reverses. Sea saves realm. Planet filming lifelong, none tops it. Sans grand orations or tearful fares, practicality ruled. He sought grasp of planetary flux, stakes, salvageable scope. Attenborough's musings skip rear view. They propel forward gaze. At century's edge, mission endures, reveal realm, Q self-guard fails. Do you align with David Attenborough's views? Share replies in comments under. If video pleased, tap next on display, thumbs up it, join channel for fresh info.